Okay, now we have all the knowledge we need to build our own mobile application, and we'll start doing that in this section. So what we need to do first to create a new application, we need to open terminal, and we can navigate to desktop, and then we can create a new application with Expo CLI. So I'll do Expo, and then init. That will initiate our new application, and I will call it Movie Rater. All together like this. This will be the same name as it was for web app. And then I can pick which one I would like to do. As I said before in the previous section, you have other options, and I will encourage you to play with this, and you can create a few different applications here and see which one is the closest to the one you would like to have. Like if your application will have a tab as a kind of navigation, then maybe you can start with this. I would also say that starting with a blank, it's usually the easiest if you are not really sure what is that, because if you have too much code starting with the project, you might have hard to find your way to change it. So I will go for a blank here, and then I will name it Movie Rater, like that. And I will use yarn, it doesn't really matter that much. Okay, that is done. I can go to the folder Movie Rater, and inside that folder I can do yarn start. I can do also expo start or npm start, depend on what you use. But I don't want to have this terminal open. I would like to use the terminal inside my Visual Studio Code. So what I can do is I can open that folder in Visual Studio Code, and the shortcut for that is code, and dot means this current folder. So I will code it here, and this will open Visual Studio Code and the project there. You need to configure that to have the terminal code to open the current folder in the Visual Studio Code, but that's very handy. So I can close this here, and then I can open terminal here, and I have the terminal, so I can do expo start. And my application is up and running. So what I can do is I can have that on iOS simulator, on Android, or this on my own device. I will have it on iOS or Android depending on my mood really, because I have two simulator and emulator installed, so I will go maybe for iOS. Okay, application is open in the simulator here. Only the first thing is taking so long, and then the next build will be much faster when we change something here. So Visual Studio Code here, and we have a few things to set up. So first I will open app.js, and we have that that text that is displayed in our application, and we have some styles here. So I can close this to make a little bit more space, and what I can do is I can prepare my project to be more structured. So what I will do is I will create a new folder. I will make it component, and then inside I will create my first component, and that component, it will be list.js. So that will be a list for list of movies displayed here. So what I can do is I can quickly hack it. I will just copy whatever I had in the app.js and paste it here. So I don't need to do much of the typing here. And then we can say this will be a list. So we have the list. I will call it movie list, like that, and I will keep it everything else for now. So we'll have that display on the screen, and here what I can do is I can actually remove all of the things that I don't need, so I will just leave it very bare minimum up, and then instead of the view, what I can do is I can display movie list, and it will auto import that from here, and then I can self-close the tag. Actually, I can remove that as well. So if I will save it now, and this will be a list. This is what I'm expecting. So app.js, I will keep it very clean, and there is not much happening here. So we have our movie list here, and inside that movie list I can code everything there. So what we need to do, basically that will be our main component when we will display the list of the movies. So we will need to first load the data from our server, and this will be very same way as we've done it with our React web application. So we'll use fetch, and then we'll display that in our application using a list. Okay, so we have our movie list here component ready, but we haven't done much yet. This is a simple text that is displayed on the screen, but we will replace it with our list. So first what we need to do is we'll need to prepare some data. So we are here in a functional component, so we can use hooks. So what I can do is I can create a constant, and we will store movies. So that will be movies, and then I can do set movies, and that is typical hooks to variables that I can access. So movies will be a reference to all the movies, and set movies will be a method how to update the state. So we can do, we'll also need to import it. So curly bracelet use state, and also I will use effects later on, so I'll import it now. So use state is a method, and then what I can do is I can provide a default. So by default I can provide an array, and let's say I will create one object inside, and I will do title, and then I can say Rambo. Okay, so I have this, and then basically what that gives me is movies that are already accessible. So if I will go here and I will replace this text, I can replace it with a flat list also. So I will need to import that from, I can remove the, actually I will use the text before later, so I'll just add it here. So flat list for now, and then I can close it, and then we'll need to add few things. So first, data, and my data will be movies. Also, I need to add render item. So that's gonna be my function. And then inside I will go item, and that's our function, and then we can display something here. So I can do text, and inside the text I can item.title. So we have that, and let me take a look how it looks like now. And I don't see anything here. We might need to do some styling because it might be off the screen. And I will double check if I have anything but in the terminal. So we will, missing keys, we will take care of that later on, and I will show you what is the problem actually here and how to solve it. So apart from that, there is nothing here. I'll just make it a little bit smaller like this. And actually I made a mistake here, that's supposed to be like that. So parentheses, not a curly brackets. So if I will save it, I can see here something is printed there. So I can't really see it because it's on the top bar there. So basically if I will add another item here, so let me add something to the mockup data. That's like classic from 80s or 90s. And you can see here I have 2 of them. So basically I have a flat list with the movies, and at the moment I'm using stage to initiate the kind of mockup data. So what we need to do now is we'll need to work to get the data from our server. So how can we do it? I will use, as we are doing functional component here, so normally if with a class-based component what you do is component did mount method, but this time we can use effect, and then inside we can do arrow function like that, and that will we will use a method here. So what we need to do, we can do the same method as we've used with the web, which is fetch. So basically the fetch will be the method to get our movies, and I can go here and I can grab it the same way as we've done it before. I can grab this URL, and then the first argument is the URL, and then we need to go API and then /movies. So this is the first argument. The second argument can be an object, so we can put a few things here. So method will be get, and then we'll need to also do headers. And in headers, the same way as we've done it before, authorization, and then we need to provide a token. So I will do backtick here. That means then I will be able to inject the token inside. So we'll do token space, and then I will need to do a token here. So what I will need to do now, at the moment, I don't have a login yet, so I have no way to get that token. So what I can do is I can go here and open this in a browser, and then I can go admin to the tokens, and I will copy this token, and for now I will use a static token like this, and then I will replace with something dynamic. So I have that. We have some errors because I save it, and it's supposed to be here, shouldn't be here. And then we can use then, and we'll have a response that I will do response to JSON. So I will convert it to JSON, the first one, and then we can chain it, and then we can have another then. This one will be JSON response already. And then what I can do is I can set movies. I'm trying to do everything here, and then set movies, this one. So basically I'm chaining here, so whatever is coming back from the fetch, this is not a JSON, so this one I will convert it, so I can put it in a new line here, and this one on a new line. So first I will convert it to JSON, and then once I have a JSON I can chain and do another then, and then in the promise here I will have a JSON response, and I will put it whatever it's in the JSON as a movies here. So we'll be using this method from state. So I have that already. Unfortunately, sometimes when you have an error like this, it's kind of freeze. So what you need to do is you do you go to terminal, Control-C, and then arrow up, expo start, and it will start again. So sometimes it just lock itself and it can auto watch and start it from there. So what I will do is I will open the simulator again. And you can see it complains about the semicolon here that I forgot to remove, or I added by accident. So actually I need to kill the application and run it again. And we have 2 messages here, and then we still have the original one there. So let me come back there and quickly fix it. First thing, it complains about not handling the error. So what I will do is I will do catch, and then we can catch an error, and then for now I will just console log that error error there, so it's not going to complain that I'm not doing anything with the error. So that's it. And actually I made a mistake here. That's supposed to not to JSON, but the method is JSON here. So if I will save it now, and it froze again. So what I need to do is I will stop it. Actually, I can run it meanwhile. Okay, so now I guess we have some data because it complains about this index, so trying to get the frame out of the range index. And so I guess we have the data because we put it set movies here. So our movies is here. What I can do is I can remove the initial data. So we'll start with a empty array, and then we need to go back to the flat list here. We'll need to add a key here. So basically whatever we do a list, we need to tell React that we are using a key. So I will do item ID for now, and then I will save it. And we still have a problem. So let me take a look. What's the error? Can't perform a React state update on our own mounted component. This is on no op, but it's indicating memory leak in your application to fix. So what is happening here is I've created so I'll close it for now. What I'm doing here is I'm using use effect here. So basically use effect will trigger wherever we actually have any re-render, so it will just go in a loop and forever, because this is not a component did mount. So in order to have it only once, what I can do is as a second argument I can put an empty array. That means I will trigger use effect wherever it's something change here, but if it's empty it will be triggered only once. So we'll save it now, and then I can come back here. And I still have the problem. Actually, I spot a problem here because that's supposed to be movies like that. And I have my list here, and you can see here Terminator and Avatar here too, despite the fact that this is empty at the beginning. So the data is successfully flowing to our application, and we use fetch. So we had a little bit both problems to set it up, but we finally have our data alive displayed on our application. And as you can see, the method itself is very easy. So we use exactly the same as we use it in our React application. So whatever you know in React, you can easily migrate it from there to React Native. Okay. We have our list of movies displayed there, but it's not really that amazing here. It's just off the screen and it's hard to read. And also we have that message here. So what we need to do basically, I will clean up a little bit here, and we'll add some styles so to make it a little bit better. So we have a message here, virtualize list. I haven't mentioned that before, but basically what is happening here is a missing keys for items. So make sure to specify a key property on each item to provide a custom something. So what is happening here is that whenever we do a list in React, we need to provide a key, and key needs to be unique. Normally coming from our database, like movies, we'll have an ID, so we can say key ID, and that will be unique, so we can say it. But in the React Native, this key is not really working like it is working in the web. So what we need to do is we need to provide another property for a flat list. It is key extractor, and then we will have two things. So first thing will be item, and another one will be index. and that's gonna be arrow function here, and we can specify what would we would like to use as a key for our list. So I could use index. I know index will be integer is growing, so it will be unique, so I can do index here, and then I can do toString. It doesn't really matter that much, it needs to be unique. You can also use the item ID or whatever you like. So you can go here, save it, and you can see the message is gone, so there is no errors anymore or warnings, and we still have that list. So what I could do is basically I could remove that key, and it's still all the same. So it's clean. Then it's a little bit different way how you provide keys in React Native. So this is done. What I would like to do is to style it a little bit, because it's small, it's off the screen, so it's hard to read. So what we will do in this video, we'll actually add some styling to it and some more structure. So instead of rendering just a text, what I can do is I can render a view. So inside that view, I will also need to import it. So I have a view already there, so that's good. And then inside, I can have my text there. So that will give me an opportunity to work with a style. So I can do styles here, and then I will do style, and then I can do item. And I will have another style here, and I will prepare the styles in a second. So style, I will do item text. So we have the container here that we don't really use, so I will have item, and then another one will be item text like this. So you can see here I have a placeholder, I assign them into here. So what I can do is I can write some styles there. So I can say flex. It's going to be one. Actually, I will go here. So flex 1. Then I can do padding, and I will push it a little bit. 10. I can do height. So I will make it 50 each. I miss a column here, and then we have also, we can do background color like this, and then I can do hash, and I will have that dark gray color here. And item text, I can do color, so that will be my background color for an item, and this one will be color of a font, so I will do white, so FFF. And then I can also do font size, and I will go for 24. So I have a basic styling here, and we have some problems here. I think styles, and that's supposed to be styles. Because this is the name of variable here. And I have that here, so you can see Titanic is much bigger, and then we have avatar here. And we can actually remove the container. I don't know if we have the, on the view here, we have the styles container, so I can remove it for now. And you can see it's not going to be squeezed. So we have this one semi-transparent kind of, so we have that nice and big, so it will be clickable, then it's white, and we have that background there. So at the moment we have that list. So what else can we do? So we have a flat list here. What I would like to do is I would like to have some kind of logo there, and in a similar way as we had it on our web view. But this time I'm not gonna style it from scratch with the fonts. You can still do it in the same way as we've done it with the web, but what I will do is I simply kind of hack it, and I have a logo here, which is, as you can see, the same logo as we had it there. But what I did is I went in web application and I just screenshot it, so I will have the same logo here, but this one, it will be PNG. So what I can do is that I can actually display PNG here. So image, and then we'll go source, and then inside I will do require. And then we can have a path here. So we need to go up one folder, and then I will go to assets, and inside I will go for mr underscore like movie rater and then logo png. So I have that. Then I can close it here, and then I can add extra style, and here we can have another object with some styles. I can do width, that's gonna be 100%. I will do height, and that's gonna be 135, and I can do padding top of 30, so I'll push it from the top bar. What I can also do here is specify resize mode, and resize mode I will do contain like this. So if I will save it now, so can I find image? What I need to do is I will need to import the image here from React Native. And you can see here I have my logo displayed there, and then I have a little bit here pushback, and then I have a list. It's not perfect, we'll work on this later on, but at the moment it is readable, so we have something to work with. So we have our list of the movies, and that's actually coming dynamically from our database, so our application is starting to get a shape. Okay. We have our list of movies already dynamic in our application. So if we go to the application now, it's not really functional that much because it's just a list of the movies. So what I would like to do in this video is whenever we click on one of the movies here, we'll go to the details page and we can display some more information about this movie. So how can we achieve that? First we need to enable navigation, then we'll need to make it this list clickable, and then redirect to the details page and pass some props to the new view. And I will show you how we can do that in this video. So first thing first, we need to go to app.js, and in the same way as we've done it before in the previous section, we'll need to enable navigation. So I will close the server here, and I will do yarn add React navigation and React navigation stack. Okay, this is all done. If I will open the package.json here, I have React navigation stack. What I found is if you install gesture handler with a yarn or npm, it might be buggy. There is some open bug here. So I will install with expo, and that will install the proper version of it, which is 1.3. Probably that will be resolved soon, so you can do it with a yarn or npm. At the moment the solution is with expo. It doesn't really matter, but expo will pick the version that is working for the current expo project. React native gesture handler. And you can see Expo can also install things, and this is what has been installed. And we have 1.3 version, the latest is 1.4. So if you install that with yarn or npm, you will have the version that is not really supported with this Expo. So once we have that, then we can enable some application JSON here. So what we need to do is we need to create navigation here, and this will be the same way as we've done it before. So import create app container from React navigation and this is supposed to be curly brackets here, like that, from React Navigation, and then import create stack navigator, and that's gonna be from React navigation stack. Okay, we have that, so we will do this one. So constant app navigator, and that's gonna be this method here, and then inside object, so we can have list or movie list, and that's gonna be screen movie list like this. Also, what I will need to do is I will duplicate it, and I will do detail, and then I will do detail. So also I will need to create a new component here, so I will do detail JS, and then inside the list I can just quickly hack it, so it will save me time for typing these things up. So I will leave it for now and just have inside view I can have a simple text, and that's gonna be detail. Details here, I don't need to have that, and then I can remove this one. I will call it detail, and then I can leave it for now, rest of it. So we have a new detail there. What I need to do is I also need to import that in app.js from detail. So I have this one, and I have app navigator. So I can remove this one. Actually, I can remove this one, and then I will add constant app is equal to create app container, and what I need to do is I need to pass app navigator there. So that's it. Let me do expo start. I can actually kill the application here and run it again. Okay, this is still loading, so we have our navigation kind of ready. We haven't done yet the full navigation, whenever we click this and move it to another component, and we'll do that in the next video. Okay, we have our navigation prepared, so we have our roads prepared in the application, but at the moment we don't use them yet. So the goal here will be to, whenever we click on one of the items here listed as movies, will be redirected to a details page, and we can actually pass some params into the new view. So how can we do that? We can go to the flat list, and inside we have a view. Normally we would like to use onPress, but I have to say onPress is not available on all elements we have on React Native. That needs to be a certain elements that will accept this callback onPress. So what we need to do is we need to use a certain elements to do. We've used onPress on buttons already, because buttons will have onPress, but if you would like to use it on a element like this, then you need to actually wrap it with something else. So what you will do is you have a various of options as a touchables, and that's React Native elements, and I will use the one that is called touchable opacity. And you can see here 4 of them listed, so I will go for touchable opacity. And what are the others? So opacity will, whatever we clicked, it will just change the opacity a little bit, so it will become a little bit more transparent for a second. Highlight will make it a little bit darker. Native feedback, it is ink kind of style, so it will, that circle that will go from your click outside, and that's available only for Android. And then without feedback you will have no visual effects to this. I will use opacity here, and it doesn't really matter at this point which one. It's purely visual. So once you need to also import it, and once you have it, it doesn't really change anything at this point. Like if we click it, you can see this is clickable, and we have that like white feedback, and that's because we use opacity, so it will go for opacity. And I use opacity because we have a dark button here, and if you have something light, then maybe you can use the touchable highlight. So at this point on touchable, we have option to do on press, and you can see here, and then we can use on press there. So what I will do is I will use a arrow function here, and I can do movie clicked. What I can do is I can pass an item to this method. So I will have an access to the currently clicked item, and let me create a new constant. I will do constant because I am in the functional component. So actually I will do an arrow function here, like that, and we know we will receive an item, and I can call it movie here as an argument in the function. So we will have an access to the movie. So what we can do with that movies is we need to use a props, and from here we can use props, and then I can do navigation, navigate, and that's a method that will accept detail. So detail like this, and this detail is the same as we have here. So basically if I will click here, I'm in the detail, so navigation is working fine. But what we would like to achieve here is to pass some information to our details. So what we can do is, as a second argument, we can actually include some extra data. So what I will do is I will open an object, and I will do movie, and then movie. So the first one is the param that I would like to pass, and then this one is the data, and this data is coming from here. So I will pass along with my changing navigation, I will pass that data into new component. So what I can do here in the component, what I can do is I can get that data from the params. To do that, I will do constant, and then I can say my params, and I can do props. Actually I need to include that, so props navigation, and then I can do get params, param, and then we will get movie. That's the name of the param we specified here, so that's the name of the param here, and the movie, and then we need to provide a default one. So by default I can do a null one. So at this point my params will actually have this data with it. So what I can do is actually I can name it maybe something like a movie. That will make more sense than my param, and because we are asking here. And if you need to pass more information here, you can pass it here inside, like separated by the comma, and pass in something else. And here you can have another one that will just get another param. So that will be the way to handle multiple of them. So, and I can say about, and then I can do movie that title. So what I'm hoping is I'm passing the whole movie, and that movie I will get it from the parent, so it will be passed here, and here I can actually print the name of it. So if that will be accessible, and then I will print a name. So if I will save it now, I'm clicking on Titanic, and you can see details about Titanic. Going back, details about avatar 2. So you can see this is already working. We have the navigation and we know how to pass information from one place to another. So this is a very good example of how we can share some data in between the components using our navigation here. Okay, we have our list of movies, and whenever we click on the movie we can see the details in a new component. So at the moment we have details about the movie here. So in here what we can do is actually we can display more information. So what I could do is I can also, so let's have it this as a title, and then I can have also a description. This is what's coming from our API. So I will come back here and then clicking here, so I can see movie, the title and description here. So actually I don't, this needs to be curly braces that I missed. So, and then we have romantic movie, and then if I click on another one we have another movie here. So basically this is done, this is what we have so far, but in the web version we had also a rating. So what we can do here is we can include the rating for this movie. So how we can achieve that? In the web version we have used Font Awesome for our stars icons, and we can do the Font Awesome here as well. So how can we do that? I will use a plugin, React Native Font Awesome here, and we'll use this to display the Font Awesome icons. What we need to do is, if you go to the installation, you will see a set of installation rules that you will need to follow to install. So first thing first, we'll need to have React Native SVG. So I will come back here and then I will close this. So Ctrl C, I will make a little bit more space. And then I will do yarn add and then React Native SVG. What also we will need to do is we'll need to have this and space. We can install more than one at a time, or I can do it separately. It's up to you, but all of this needs to be installed. As you can see here, this is npm install save. If you use npm, I'm using yarn, so I will do it like this. So yarn add and add for packages. Okay, this is done. I will do expo start again, and I will have my expo started. So we have this one. Let me double check if we actually have auto start now, or do I need to restart the application? No, it's already working, so I will do development here. So what we need to do is we need to install import few things here. So I will do import, and then I will import a Font Awesome icon. So font icon like this, and I will import that from Font Awesome, and then this one, React Native Font Awesome. So this is imported, and this is a tag I can use. So I could use a tag here, Font Awesome icon, and then I can do an icon here, and inside I can specify what kind of icon I would like to use. Actually, I can self-close it here. And then inside the icon, I will need to do FA and then name of the icon. But this, I will need to import it first. So I will import that. So import FA, we will need to have a star. So FA star from, and then we can do Font Awesome free solid. So it will be Font Awesome free solid SVG icons. So I'm importing only this icon here, and this icon I can inject it there. So if I will do it now, and clicking here, you can see there is an icon there. So we have our starter. So what we also need to do is we need to have 5 of them. So I can duplicate it. And then you can see 5 of them. So another thing I could do is I can wrap it in view. So I will do view, style, styles, and then I can do a star container, and then I will wrap all my icons here, and I will also need to have the star container here. So I have a few styles here. I will add a new one. This needs to be like this. And then what we need to do is I will do align items center, and I can do also justify content center, and then flex direction. I can do row like that. So if I go here, you can see these are 5 stars here, and they are prepared to be ready here. So what we can have at the moment is, what we need to do is we need to create a style for them based on some conditions. As you remember, what we had in our version is we had the average rating coming from API, and based on that we can color coded our stars. This is the same way as we've done it with the web version. So what I will do is I will do style like that, and then here we can have a condition. So movie dot, and then AVG, like average, and then rating. That's what's coming from the API. And then if that's bigger than 0, then I can do something. So I can add styles orange, and I will do that in a second. Otherwise, I will do styles, and let's say I will do white. For now I have the white background here. It will just disappear for a moment, but we need to also make the background darker, so it will be much nicer this way. So we have this one here. What I need to do is I need to create orange and white style. So first orange, and then I can do color orange, and I can actually type in orange. That's one of the acceptable strings, and then I can do another one white, which is just a color of white for now. So what I have is I already color coded the first one, so you can see this is orange because it is already bigger than 0. So what I need to do is I will make a little bit more space for this to be easier seen, and I will duplicate that for every single one, but then I will increase this one for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So coming back here, Titanic, you can see 3 and 2 of them disappeared. So for a moment, if I will do a black and then Titanic, you can see 3 out of 5 and then 5 out of 5. So this is working fine, and we have that display there. So what we need to also do is we can actually include the how many number of ratings were there. So I will do a text here, and in the similar way as we had it there in the web version, in the parentheses will display. And so this will be a normal text, the parentheses, and inside I will inject my movie, and then I will do number of rating like this. So saving again, and then you can see here that's actually not inside the parentheses here. I think it's number of ratings like this, and then we see, okay, 2 ratings here, and then I have 1 rating here. So this is working fine. and we have our rating system in place. We know how to use the font awesome here, so we are kind of moving forward into the place where when we display all the information about our movies. So in the next video we'll do a little bit of styling and we'll add more features into our application. Okay, we have our application, our details page here up and running. We display all the information we have for our movie. So what we will do in this video, we'll style a little bit. So at the moment it's not really styled. So what we can do is we can actually copy some things to speed it up. So I will have a main container style for the whole view. Container, I think I misspelled it, so I will correct it here. So this will be star container, the other will be container, so star container here, and I will have a container there. So for the container, what we want to have is background color, it's white here. I will change it for that dark gray as I had it in my logo, so it is 28 to C and 35. That's the color, and I can have I don't need to have that here. What I can do is I will add a little bit of padding, so I will add it 10, so it will push things from the edges. As you can see here, it's next to the edge, so it will push away from the edge, that padding 10. So if I have that, you can see it is already dark, and then we display this. Now we can actually return this to white, or you can do FFF if you like, it doesn't really matter. So we have that icons there. So what we need to do is we have the container, we pushed it a little bit, and then we need to kind of style the title and the description. The title, I will do a little hack, well, not hack, but I will move it away from this container in this view, and I will put the title here in the top bar, and I will show you that in a second. So first, what we do is we will do also, I will add style for a description. So I will do description like this, and then I can create a new item here, description. And what I can do for a description, I can do a font size. So font size, it will be a 2020, and then I can do color, and I can do white, and then I can do also some padding there. So padding extra 10. So let's take a look how it looks now, and you can see here it's white, it's a little bit pushed out from this place, and it will push from the icons there. So that's already done. What we also need to do is we have that, and then we can style the rest of it here. So the text, I will do, let's put it styles like this. So I will make it white. So if I will have it here, you can see this will be white. And then we have that title, and I said I will move it to the top bar here. So what we can actually do is we can control top bar with the navigation. So how we can do that? Normally you will use the static method for a class based component, but we have a function based component. So what we need to do is I will go to the details here, and what I will need to do is details dot and then navigation options. So I will do navigation options like this, and then also I will need to provide a screen prop. So I will do screen props like this. If you need to use them in the navigation options, then you need to provide it here, and we will use the navigation props in a second. So I will show you how we do that. So basically what is happening here is I can provide a title, and this title can be, let's say, movie. So if I will save it now and I will come back here, you can see the movie title is here, and that's why we need screen props here, because what is happening here is we pass the props movie. So I have an object here on that function, but to have it also here in navigation options, I will need to pass the screen props here. So instead of the movie here, what I can do is I can do screen props and then navigation, and then I can do get param, and then I can pass the get the param from here. The problem with this approach is what we do here is we pass the whole movie object, and I can't just go movie title. So the quick hack for this, what I found is when we pass the this is movie click, so we navigate this, we pass the movie here. What we can do is we can pass another argument. So I can pass a title, and that's going to be movie that title. So we'll extract the title here, pass it as a title. So nothing actually will change here because we'll still have the movie passed as a param, but we'll have another one title here that we can reference here. So if I will save it now, Titanic, you can see Titanic is here, and then Avatar is here. So this is nice. And now you can see which one you are already on, and you don't need to print this one there. So I will just remove the title from here, and it's nice and consistent. So we have the rating, we have a movie title, and then we have a description here. Okay, so all is working fine, but we this navigation options will give us much more options than a title. So what we can do here is we can actually style it a little bit. So I can pass more parameters here. So I can do header style, and then let's say I can use a background color, and we can do something wild like a orange. And if you go here, you can see you have an orange here. So in that way you can style it the way you like, and I will show you a few other styles that we can use, so you can play with that and find your own styles. So I will do header tint color, and we can say this is gonna be white. So I can do FFF for white. And you can see here everything is white, so you can control the color of the top bar with header tint color. And then we have also we can do header title style, and we can do font weight, for example. Bold, and then font size, let's say 24. I'm just playing around with this, but you can see this is nice, big and bold, and so you can play with this one. So this is how we style the components. Now it's not great as well, but it looks much better than it was before. So you can control all the styles with either styles component like this, where we pick the styles, or we can also control the top bar here using this navigation options. So if you have a class-based component, then navigation options will be something like a static, and then navigation options, and then you can provide your options here. But this static is only available for a class, so we can't really use it in functional components. So the way to do it will be with this syntax here. Okay, so that's enough for our styling. In the next video, I will show you how we can actually have a button here in the top navigation and how we can use it for another component.